So then guys, in 2025, we've even heard from Apple themselves that the iPhone 17 is going to be their most ambitious phones that they've ever made. And what I would say is that we've heard this kind of saying before from Apple that they try to excite us up, but then I would also say we've actually had lots of leaks and rumors come in telling us that we're going to get a slimmer iPhone on its way, and that's what I want to talk about today. So we did hear earlier on this year that we were going to be getting the potential of an iPhone Slim, as it were, iPhone 17 Slim in 2025. But it wasn't until John Prosser came up with the idea of maybe Apple just called this the iPhone Air. And to be deadly honest, this does make a lot of sense. We have the iPad Air, we have the MacBook Air, for example. So, you know, to have an iPhone Air, well, yeah, that does actually make a lot of sense for Apple to actually do this with a slimmer phone. At the end of the day, the original iPad Air was super slim. It was slimmer than the original iPads that were out at the time, and the same with the MacBook Air as well. It was super slim and super lightweight. So, you know, put that kind of idea together in an iPhone, and this is where we could be heading towards. We could actually be heading towards an iPhone that could be near 5mm thick. And just to put that into perspective for you, do remember that right now the new iPad Pro with the M4 inside of it is 5.3 and 5.1 millimeters thick. So yeah, you know, the idea here, it's a very, very big potential that we could actually see a super thin iPhone on its way. But what would this iPhone do and how would it change the lineup? Well, the one thing that we have also been told is that it looks like Apple are looking to ditch completely the Plus model. So what I'm talking about, starting with the iPhone 14, we had the iPhone 14 Plus, then we had after that the iPhone 15 Plus, and then of course this year the iPhone 16 Plus. And the Plus model hasn't done so well. So it looks like Apple are going to get rid of that and replace it with this new Slim or iPhone Air model to take its place. The current normal iPhone 17, like the current iPhone 16 exists right now, that will still exist. That won't be changing, but it looks like just that one model, the Plus model, is going to be taken away and replaced with a new Air model instead. Now, one thing I'm going to say at this stage, just because this is going to be Apple's latest and greatest design in an iPhone, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the best iPhone out there. It is going to cost a premium because it's going to be super thin, and we'll get onto price a little bit later on. But what I'm talking about, it probably will not have the largest display. And talk about the display. We've had loads of leaks and rumours coming in, like from Jeff Pugh and then also from Ross Young, who predict that it's going to be around about a 6.6 to 6.5 inch display, something around along that line there. So this is definitely smaller than the 6.9 inch display that we have right now in the likes of, say, the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and even smaller than what we have in, say, the iPhone 16 Plus, because obviously that's about a 6.78 inch display, so slightly smaller than that. But the great news is that we have been told about this display is that it finally looks like that Apple for the iPhone 16 and the 16 Air, and of course still the Pro and the Pro Max, are all going to be getting a ProMotion display in 2025. So finally, at last, all of Apple's top flagship phones, apart from maybe the SE, are all going to get a 120 Hz display. What is really, really great news. It's about time Apple caught up here. But then there's also a few other changes we're going to see on the screen, and that is that we are probably going to get a smaller dynamic island inside of this, and the main reason behind this is Apple going to probably make their Face ID sensors even smaller, so the island is going to be like more like a smaller kind of pill on the front when you have that. And then we've also been told that the front camera, the 12 megapixel one we currently have at the moment, is finally also going to be upgraded to a 24 megapixel. We haven't had this camera updated ever since, say, the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro Max when the original dynamic island came out. So finally it does look like Apple are going to be updating this to have a 24 megapixel camera on the front and also Face ID to be even smaller in that kind of dynamic on the front there. So we won't be intruding as much. So this is really, really great news. But then for the rear of the iPhone, well, we've been told that we're most likely going to just get a single snapper on the back of this. So just a single lens on the rear of this iPhone Air. And before you go, well, what? Why would you do that? You know, the likes of, say, the iPhone sort of Pro Maxes and the Pro, well, they've got triple cameras. Why would Apple just go backwards and put a single camera on? Well, I personally believe that this is on purpose to prove why this phone is an iPhone Air. Now, I know some of you guys are going to say, well, this is impossible. What about spatial vision? You know, this is why we got the kind of cameras changed to vertical on the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus. Well, it's a bit unknown at this stage why Apple are going to make this move. Maybe they have the ability, you know, potentially to make spatial vision out of one lens. We just don't know at this stage, but that is what we've heard. It's going to be a single lens at the moment, but obviously this could change into the future. We'll just have to wait and see on that, but I predict that most likely this will just be a standard 48 megapixel wide sensor at the moment. This might change in the future, but still it'll be a really, really good snapper on the back of the phone. But if you do want the best kind of photography out there, obviously the 17 Pro and the 17 Pro Max will be your better bet to get. But then you're probably wondering, well, what will be powering this iPhone? Well, most likely it's going to be just the normal A19. It probably will not be the A19 Pro by then, because obviously that's reserved for the Pro models, and this is not a Pro model. So we'll have an A19 inside of it, and obviously this will have enhancements over what we had on the A18. And if you've used an A18, what's inside, say, the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus right now, you will know it's no slouch. It is super, super powerful still for what it is. So this is going to be really, really great news to hear that we're going to get this. And then obviously I still believe that we'll probably get, say, 8 gigabytes of RAM inside of this iPhone 2 to obviously use Apple Intelligence and all the goodies and things like that. On the bottom, we're still expecting to have a USB-C port at the bottom there, but I don't believe this is going to go up to like the likes of, say, USB 3.0 speeds, 10 gigabits anytime soon, because like I keep saying, this is going to be an Air iPhone. It's not going to be a Pro iPhone. We've got to really get our head around that. The idea of this phone, it's slim, does the job, and that is the whole purpose of it. But next of all, you're probably wondering, what about the price, and also when will this be released? Well, I'll tell you all about those details right after I tell you about the giveaway we're doing on our channel for this. This here is an iPhone 16 Pro Max Desert Titanium or Titanium Desert model with 256 gigabytes of storage inside of it. And I'm going to be giving this away to one lucky subscriber before the end of December. In fact, it's going to be before Christmas time is when I'm going to be giving it away. And all you have to do at this stage right now is just put down into the comments below of what technology you're still hoping to get in 2024 or maybe even into 2025. Maybe this is going to be a new iPhone. Maybe it's going to be a new M4 Mac, for example, or maybe it's going to be something else like a PS5 Pro, or maybe the Switch 2 if it comes out in the early part of 2025. Put it down into the comments below right now. And what you'll also want to do is you'll want to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell, because I'll be making a video giving even more details about the giveaway near the end of December time before Christmas. There will be a little form to fill in and things like this too. So make sure that you do that. And the other main big reason is because obviously you need to be a subscriber to enter in. But the last thing I just want to quickly say to you guys is sadly there are still lots of scammers and spammers out there. People still impersonating me, telling you to WhatsApp, Telegram, direct message by Instagram and all these bad sort of things to do. Make sure then the best thing to do is ignore them, or better still, as you can see right here, please do report them. So moving on then, when are we going to get our hands on this new iPhone 17 Air and also all the other iPhones, and how much will it cost us? Well, if we know anything about Apple's history, traditionally Apple like to announce their new iPhones in September, and specifically it's normally in the first half of September time. And normally I would say it's kind of about the early sort of teens, as what history has shown us. Unless there's kind of big delays in manufacturing processes and things like this, nothing else to slow everything down in the world, this is the estimated time when it's probably going to come out. So, it's a long time away still until we're going to get this new iPhone. But we're expecting to see all the other new iPhones there, and also maybe the new Apple Watch 11 by that time. But how about the price? Well, obviously it's going to replace the Plus model, but because it's super thin and everything like this, I predict personally it's going to be a very similar kind of cost, I would say, to even the likes of, say, the normal iPhone 17 Pro. Remember, right now the iPhone 16 Pro starts at $999 US, and I personally think for a super thin sort of phone like this, and you're paying for that premium for it to be thinner and everything in the manufacturing process, then I believe this is the kind of price it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be like $100 more than the iPhone 17, because it's going to have a little bit more work put into it. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be the likes of, say, $899 US like the 16 Plus. I think it's going to be about $100 more, what steps into, like I said, the Pro territory. So So yeah, I believe it's going to sit around that kind of cost, especially getting ProMotion inside of it too, and a few other bits and changes. So yeah, it's not going to be the cheapest iPhone, but like I said, if you still want the best of the best, then you will need the slightly thicker iPhone 17 Pro or the iPhone 17 Pro Max. But with that though, guys, that is the latest and greatest we have heard about all the details for the new iPhone Slim or the iPhone 17 Air. Is this a phone that you're excited about and you might look into getting? Let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. Also, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews, and comparisons too, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.